My clients were not from around here. They're from out of town. They were in town, and the weather was gorgeous. And this was about 3 years ago. And they were out looking at open houses on a Saturday. They called me and they said, Paul, we've fallen in love with this house and we want it. Can you come over and take a look at it with us? So I run over there. I knew immediately, I knew the address, and I know, okay, I know it's getting ready to happen. You get in there and their excitement and their conversations about how they're going to decorate the house and how it's perfect, exactly what they're looking for, and under their maximum budget as well. So I mean, it was just all, just amazing. And this was a situation that actually comes up from time to time, more than you probably imagine. So I told him, I said, look, guys, I sell real estate for a living and I don't want to talk you out of this property if you love it. But before you make a final decision, can I show you another area? There's this other neighborhood I was planning on showing you. So can we just do that before we move into making an offer? So we quickly run over to another neighborhood. And here's the issue. That house was beautiful, but what was getting ready to happen right outside and across the canal, because there's a canal in the backyard. Well, they're getting ready to bury the canal. So that's going to be a dirt mound. And then across the dirt mound would be a new apartment complex, which they were not aware of. And there were no signs of that. It was just a vacant lot. But I knew that was coming. That was going to happen probably over the next year and a half. And now looking back on it, that apartment complex is there, and it's very tall. It dominates the view in the backyard, but they didn't know that. So I was bringing that information and wanted, because I knew they would be pissed about that. It would have wrecked the whole feel of that property. And that's probably one of the motivating reasons why the sellers were selling the property. And so, interesting also, the listing agent that was hosting the open house was not talking about that at all. There was no conversation about that. So I took them away from the property, took them to another neighborhood where there are great amenities. The canal was not being buried, the view would not be obstructed. The neighborhood was beautiful, and they fell in love with that house. I educated them, made sure they understood that, although that house was great, that was not going to be a location that was going to be to their advantage in the future. It would have wrecked their investment. Maybe there are agents out there that would have just not bring it up. I mean, why talk them out of buying $1 million home? Well, now those people have become good friends of mine. We have dinner all the time when they're in town. They love the neighborhood. Their property has gone up in value $200,000 since they purchased it. And this is the kind of value that a buyer broker can bring you as a buyer in our market, in any market. And so you can have a good experience, you can have a bad experience. It really depends on the education, the knowledge, the experience of your buyer broker. So I encourage you, go find the most experienced, most well qualified buyer broker in your market, read reviews, get referrals, talk to whoever you need to, but interview agents and find out what their experience is in their market. Local knowledge is irreplaceable when you're buying a home. If you're buying in a home, like a second home investment property out of the area, and you don't know the area that well, don't worry about not paying your buyer's agent. Go find the most expensive one that you can